Aloha, Honolulu! Data here with episode 33 of the Honolulu Huskies Custom Fantasy Draft Franchise Mode, here to kick off year number 12, the 2030-2031 regular season, where we will be searching for a 6th consecutive President's Trophy. In the last one, we had to make some sad decisions, and I had some questions for all of you, and we're going to get into it right now in the comments from the last episode. Once again, apologies for the couple of days of delay on this episode from the last one. Like I said in my last episode, with I'm doing a summer class, and with COVID-19 restrictions coming down, I'm back to work, so it's tough to find the time to film, but I've been so excited for this season, and I am fired up and ready to go, so let's get into it. First comment coming from USS ZZSS. Dylan Gambrell, our new fourth line center, tends to sim really well when he gets ice time. Although it's a bit late in his career and he's regressed, I believe he starts as a top 6 forward. So Dylan Gambrell is now 34 years old. He has top 9 potential. This guy, when you look at his career, he has simulated very, very well. He has like an average of like minus last season of 32. Before that, he was like a solid 35 to 50 point guy every season, more often than not in the mid to high 40s. So Dylan Gambrell, our fourth line center, could be a great little gem, not only for his defensive capabilities at 87 defensive awareness, decent centerman, not the best shot blocking, good stick checking. He won't be playing much, but that defensive capability, along with the 87 passing and the 88 offensive awareness, he seems to sim very well. I may change him into a playmaker instead of a two-way forward. I may give it a better plus on the chemistry. I'll experiment with that later. But Dylan Gambrell, welcome to the Honolulu Huskies. I'm happy to have him on board. Now, the big question of last episode was the goalie debate of who are we going to keep on this team. We have 3 84 overall goalies. We have a 22-year-old, a 23-year-old, and then we have Lee Sweeney, who is 25 years old, all 84 overall. Let's get into these comments and see what everybody thinks. Addie Jane, I think you got to trade Sweeney. Even though he's very good, you have 2 goalies who are good based on preseason. Yeah, look at these preseason numbers. This was Matthew McClellan in a couple games that he played. This was Bentley in the 5 games that he played. So keep the younger ones, and let's hope for the three-peat. Thank you, Addy. Dylan Mamelli, found your channel a couple weeks ago, and I've finally caught up on the series. Love the franchise, and I've been wanting to comment for a while. Welcome aboard, Dylan. That being said, the diehard fans in Honolulu will run you out of town if you trade the only goalie to lead the city to a cup. It's a fair point. Keep the eldest goalie, Lee Sweeney, with the playoff experience, and the youngest goalie, Saul Bentley, for the future. Lastly, I'm a big Duke Silver guy, and he's got my vote for captain. We had that question as well. Who's going to be our captain and alternates? Wouldn't mind seeing Tolvanen, Anderson, and Hughes with the A's. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much, Dylan. Next comment coming from Yirka Halby. Hello, man. Where to start? The draft was not the best. Yeah, of course. In the goalie situation, definitely I would go Bentley and McClellan and trade Sweeney away. If they don't perform at the deadline, try to pick up Vasilevsky for sure. And I'm on the Duke Silver captaincy train. Anderson and Pelech assistants, in my opinion. P.S. Big fat F in the chat for Rantanen. He was a good Husky. Definitely sad to see him go, but maybe we'll see him again. Look at this next comment from I'm Vix, formerly Poppy Black. Resign Anthony as soon as possible if you can. Damien Anthony's on a 1-year deal, and it is a killer if he grows this season. So we're going to have to see if we can get him signed long term. Then he went to, I replied, big time, I just went too far in the calendar waiting for the demand to drop. That's when he got offer sheeted, and now I got stuck with a 1-year deal. He says, hey, you could consider flipping him at the deadline for Rantanen at 50% retained. So maybe we get Rantanen back on this team. Who knows? But that is not something I'm holding out hope for. It would just be pretty wild if we could. MVL1 2K7, start Sweeney, keep Bentley as your backup, trade McClellan. Duke should be captain, assistant captains Tolvanen, Wong, and Ellis Anderson. Louis Malau says the goals against and save percentage are insane for both goalies. Maybe Sweeney is the one to go. He had 50 wins, but a bit worse numbers. Maybe give another tryout to your goalies. So that seems to be where we are at right now. Going back and reading these comments, it looks like the votes are pretty even. I think think of official votes of trades, it's 2-2 in terms of keeping or trading Sweeney. But the one that I really resonate with is Dylan Mameli's comment. We have to keep it pretty realistic here, right? Like if you're the general manager of a hockey team, you don't see players who have trade value and potential and say, oh, McLellan's 23-84 medium elite, this guy's 84-25 high starters. We don't see that as a general manager. All I see in Lee Sweeney is a guy who came on the scene as a rookie 4th round pick, got 50 wins and 8 shutouts, and has 2 Stanley Cups. I think just that is enough to say that Lee Sweeney has to stay on this team. I am convinced from that comment and the others that Lee Sweeney should stay at least in a shared position where he'll start and back up with whoever else is with him. Now, going to McLellan and Bentley. Bentley had the better numbers. I'm not going to deny that. He had the better numbers, but he did play 3 more games than McLellan. I don't want to just trade McLellan right away. I'd like to give him a little bit of time. So right now I am sold on keeping Bentley, and that is what I'm going to do if nothing changes. I'm going to give McLellan a few starts. I think Sweeney can start off the season. He'll get the season opener. He definitely deserves that. But I want McLellan to get a few starts, maybe like 3 of the first 8 games or something. And I want to see how he performs. If he performs super well, then I'm going to bring Bentley in and see what he has to say about that. If McLellan falters, then I think Bentley has the job and we trade McLellan. So we're going to see how that goes. Going back to the captaincy debate that we were talking about, I think that it is fair for us to name a captain. The only other player that has been on Honolulu for the entire history of this franchise, the captaincy has to go to the smoothest man in Indiana, the king of Honolulu, Duke Silver himself. He left the Parks Department. He came to Honolulu. He has 2 cups. He has a great career going for him. Duke Silver is our captain. And looking at the votes of the alternates, I think it was 2 votes for Tolvanen, 2 votes for Anderson, 1 vote for Wong, 1 vote for Pelech, 1 vote for Hughes. So just based on that democratic system, as well as Tolvanen being 32 and Pelech being, I think, 25, I think I'm going to give the second A to Eli Tolvanen. So captain Duke Silver, alternate Eli Tolvanen, and alternate Ellis Anderson. Pretty much our 3 best players, which is never the best thing to do, but they are also just monsters in their age, in their ability, in their clutch performance. So I think that gets it for them. Also, I've never seen a forward wear the number 2. So Binnington on the 3rd line left wing is going to be wearing number 2. Or sorry, is the 4th one of those, the 3rd or 4th line right wing. The 3rd and 4th, the bottom 6 is pretty good this season. I'm pretty impressed by 4th line left wing. Joaquin Binnington. So I'm going to try changing Gambrell to a playmaker, see if that changes anything. If not, I'll keep him as a 2-way forward. I'm going to go ahead and do all that, and then we can begin simulating this season. The rest of the lines will stay the same. Tolvanen, Silver, Pelech, Anthony, Wong, Pittis. Anthony's getting a chance on the 2nd line. He has to perform this season with 5-star shooting like that. He's coming off an abysmal 33-point year. So I want to see a big year from Anthony. Kozevnikov's getting 3rd line minutes. Our new player, Thomas Steen, a power forward, great shooting, great defense. I'm expecting a big season from the boys in Honolulu this year. So let's get to it in just a second. So changing Gambrell to a playmaker just keeps the 4th line at a +1, so I put him back to a 2-way forward since that is a position that he played. That new AHL assistant coach on board. That is the role that he has had in his great simulation. So all of my scouts are already sent out. They're doing their reports. More depth for the AHL. I'm going to go ahead and fix that. Just give me a second here. All right, we are ready to rock and roll at Diamond Head Arena to kick off year number 12 in Honolulu up against the Arizona Coyotes. Let's kick it off with a bang. Duke Silver, the captain, is here. We are playing our first ever game ever without Mikko Rantan being a member of the organization. Let's start off this year with a bang. First, there he is. There's the man I called on, Damien Anthony. I need Sweeney to play strong as well. Okay, let's just get through this first period. 4-1. Ellis Anderson, Landon Alberts, and Joaquin Binnington, his first career NHL goal. Second period, oh boy, 5-3. So Ezra Pittis scores. Barkov and Nuti Vara get 2 past Sweeney. We are up 5-3 with a 2-goal lead here in the first game of the season. Trying to start off our Listen scores. Listen's a monster. But then Eli Tolvanen comes right back, 6-4. Trying to start off our 5th defense of a President's Trophy strong. Listen scores again on the power play. We only have a 1-goal lead with 5 minutes here left in the 3rd period. 6-5, 11 goals have been scored, and Skylar Pelech will put it away. Sveshnikov, 11 seconds left, scored, but Skylar Pelech, the player that could have been on the Arizona Coyotes, we traded for that pick for Jonathan Drouin, a bag of pucks, and we got him. Goal and 2 assists for Tolvanen, Skylar Pelech, a goal and an assist, and that is a win, a 7-6 win, a bit of a nail-biter in our first game of the season. So I'm going to go ahead and simulate through the first 10 games or so. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to go this game against Ottawa, this game against Toronto, and this game against Detroit. I'm going to start Matthew McClellan, and then after this game, I'm going to stop. So that's going to be game number 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So of those 6 games, 3 for Sweeney, 3 for McClellan, and we'll see what we're looking like after this game against Detroit. Oh boy, we got a battle in the crease. McClellan, 4-1 win, 5-4 shootout win, and 4-3 win. Lee Sweeney, 7-6 win, 4-3 loss, 4-2 loss. So he's let in a lot of goals, Lee Sweeney. Now, like I said at the start, I wouldn't just trade Lee Sweeney because it wouldn't make sense. He's gotten 50 wins, he's a monster. But if he gets outperformed and performed out of a job, then that would be a different story. I don't want to trade Lee Sweeney, like I said, but if he's just getting totally shamed in nets. Let's see here. McClellan was 3-0-0, 896 save percentage, 2.6 goals against. Lee Sweeney, 1-2-0, 835 save percentage, 4.7 goals against average. Man, oh man. Now, Lee Sweeney is known to not have great starts and then turn it around. But still, those are tough numbers. What I'm going to do now, over the next 6-game period, is I'm going to do 1 on for Sweeney and 1 on for Beck. So I'm going to go Sweeney, Beck, Sweeney, Beck, Sweeney, and then Beck here against Carolina. And then McClellan will have 3 games, Beck will have 3 games, and Sweeney will have 6 games. Sweeney 6, McClellan 3, Beck 3. So let's try that out and see how we look after the next 6 games. I mean Bentley, what am I saying? Beck. Stephen Beck is our minor starter. Saul Bentley is who I'm talking about. So 6 for Sweeney, 3 for McClellan, and 3 for Bentley. So I'll see you after this game against Carolina. Boy, oh boy. So Sweeney wins 6-1 here. Beck wins 5-2 here. Sweeney loses 7-1. Beck loses 6-5. Then Sweeney wins 3-2 to shootout, and then Beck gets a 4-0 shutout, knowing that that was his last chance to impress. So let's go back to the stats and see how the goalies shape up after we have 6 for Sweeney, 3 for McClellan, and 3 for Beck. Bentley. Oh, my goodness. So through it's 3 starts but 4 appearances. Bentley had 1 appearance where he made 6 saves. So through the 3 games, he's 2-1-0, 1 shutout, 908 save percentage, 2.45 goals against. McClellan, look at these numbers. Lee Sweeney, 6 starts, 857 save percentage, 4.16 goals against average. So I'm really thinking of rolling with McClellan and Bentley, even though that didn't make sense at the start of the season. Sweeney coming off 50 wins, a Vezina Trophy, and 2 Stanley Cups. If he doesn't put up the numbers, he doesn't put up the numbers. And I have 2 goalies who are ready to go. One could be my starter next season, my number 1 for sure, if they can take the role. But for this season, it'll be more of a shared thing. And additionally, I was looking at contract extensions here, specifically for Damien Anthony, and then I went to look at goalies. I remembered that Lee Sweeney, he's on an expiring deal. He does not want an extension, and he wants upwards of $7 million for 6 years. Even if I go to 1 year. If I go to 8 years, he wants 8.9. So I think Lee Sweeney's days in Honolulu are very unfortunately numbered. Now, do I play him a little bit and trade him by the deadline, or do I just try and move him right away / just scratch him and go with McClellan and Bentley? That is the question. I don't want to disrespect him, but he doesn't want to re-sign. He's not playing well. I don't really have much reason to keep him, so I'm going to roll with Bentley and McClellan for a little bit. Let's give them a shot for another, 15 games. How many games into the season are we now? We are 12 games into the season. It's not even the end of... no, we just started November here. So let's go for a little bit. Let's see how these guys do. Let's give them the reins and give them a chance to run a little bit. Let's get a little bit of a test here by seeing our rivals, the San Jose Sharks, at the end, close to the end of November. Vegas Golden Knights fire their coach Hugo Desbiens. And then we'll get a little bit of a better idea. Because as well, even if I do trade Sweeney, I don't know what I would really trade him for. Sweeney and Radulov for a fourth-line center and 2/3. I don't think I'd do that. Sweeney could probably, if I went to the trade finder, he doesn't have much value, so he wouldn't get me that much. But we'll figure that out soon. So I don't know who's starting most of these, but 5-1 win, 3-0 loss, 6-3 win, 5-4 win, 5-4 loss, 3-2 loss. Next train for Damien Anthony. The goals against are pretty respectable. We're not letting in a wild amount of goals. With Damien Anthony out, I guess Steen will come up. Binnington can go to the third line. No, Zayuzin can go to the third line. And then Andrew Kopp will come in as the scratch on the fourth line with Gambrell and Binnington right there. Hey, gotta fix all these power play lines. Come on. It was just a neck strain, and it was out for a few days, so I'll go ahead and put Kopp on the power play. Go out there and clap in a howitzer, Kopp. Let's see what you got. 7-4 win, 4-2 loss. We're 12-8-0. Numbers aren't the greatest. 4-1 win. How many losses do we have in the totality of last season? Like 13 or something? We're 13-9-0. Yikes. Let me see the numbers here. Whoever's playing better, I'm going to keep in, and whoever's playing worse, I'm going to swap out with Lee Sweeney. So Bentley, 910 save percentage, 2.45 goals against. McClellan, 870, and McClellan's fallen off a little bit. So let's try putting Sweeney in nets. Let's try giving him the start against the Sharks. He knows the Sharks. He knows how to play against them. Gave him a little bit of a slap in the face, a little bit of a kick in the pants. Let's wake up here. Let's go. You've been in the press box eating hot dogs for a little bit. Let's see what you got up against the Sharks if you still have the magic in that glove. First period, 2-1 Sharks. McDavid. Second period, 3-1 Sharks. Okay. Down 3-1. Who scored in the second period? Mara, of course. Bentley's in nets? Wait, hold on. Yeah, okay, Sweeney started, but Bentley's in nets now, so I guess either an injury or he got pulled. 4-1. Okay, call it a day. 5-1. That was a shameful loss. Yikes. What's with our record? We're 13-10-0. This is unacceptable, boys. Let's wake up. Changes are coming. And it might be sooner rather than later if we don't pick it up. If this is a loss right here, changes are coming right now. I'm not taking 3 straight losses. Sore shoulder for Ellis Anderson. So that means Kyle Wood is back in the lineup. The scratch master. 5-4 shootout win. That was a close one against Calgary. Let's go, boys. Let's wake up. Let's see what we do in this back-to-backer. If we lose both, it's going to be big. Oh, my goodness. 2-1 loss. Okay, and 2-0. My goodness. We're 14-12-0. Let's see, where is the problem coming from? And it's time to fix it right here, right now. We are not going to be a fringe team that's not going to make the playoffs. Duke Silver, 33-26, love it. Ellis Anderson, 30-24, love it, plus 12. Tolvanen, 28. Pelech, 27. Pittis, 23, close to a point per game. Wong, 20, not as much as he usually gets, but still great. Hughes, 15. Perfetti, -7 with 14 points. I'm surprised. That was supposed to be my great defensive line. Anthony, 10-19. Steen's a -6. Lindback, Binnington, Kozevnikov's a -3 with his 89 defensive awareness, 93 stick checking, and 88 shot blocking. Gambrell has 5 assists in 26 games, playing 7.5 minutes a night. Zayuzin on the third line is getting 4, mix of third and fourth line, has 4 points. 7 games for Kopp, he has 1 goal, -1. Menino has 1 assist, plus 14 at least. What is going on? What are the numbers looking like? McClellan 6-4-0. Ugh. Bentley 4-3-0, 903 save percentage, but Sweeney, man, really disappointing. I don't know what to say over here. The whole team is underwhelming. Looking at the entire league's standings, I don't even know where we are. We're in 18th place in the NHL, uncharted territory, that's for sure, letting in 3.3 goals a game. Our power play at 24.1% is on the better half of the league, but our penalty kill is at like 66 or something like that. We have the worst penalty kill in the NHL at 64.8%. We're letting in a goal 4 out of 10 times. 2 out of 5 times we're letting in a goal. That is unacceptable. Penalty kill, 0+1. What's going on? Kozevnikov's out of there, I guess. Cole Perfetti, man, what a killer. I know Kyle Wood's just here for a minute to fill in for Ellis Anderson. I'll just do that for now. But look at the players who are here. Silver, Pelech, Hughes, Menino. These are all great defensive players. 94 shot blocking, 91 shot stick check, 88 stick checking, blah, blah, blah. 5-star defense. It doesn't get better than that. The guy has 4.5-star defense. This guy's one of my best defensive forwards. What am I supposed to do? Who am I supposed to change around? It's either I listen to the stats and I put my best defensive players out, or I'll put a guy who has 3-star defense out, and then he'll be the best defensive player. How does that make any sense? Damien Anthony and Ellis Anderson are both back. I'm going to leave them out for just a couple more games to make sure they're fully healed, but come on. 5-3 win, 6-3 win, finally a little bit of happiness, a little smile on our face. Philadelphia Flyers, we beat in the Stanley Cup Finals last year. We lose 3-2 in a shootout. Let's get everyone back in the lineup and try full force. So I'm going to try Zayuzin on the third line since it'll give it a +5. Maybe that'll help everybody out a little bit more. Steen can be an 89. Perfetti can be an 88. And Zayuzin can be an 84, so maybe that'll do something for the third line here in the bottom 6. Kazevnikov, I'll keep him on the second unit of the penalty kill. Now that Anderson's back, I switched up the defense pairings. But if the penalty kill continues to be abysmally shameful like that, then Kazevnikov's going to come off the penalty kill, that's for sure. So with these little fixes now, the +5 on the third line, everyone's healthy. I'm not going to push the panic button yet. We're 16-12-1. It's not a terrible record. I'm going to give this team 5 games to prove it to me. And then if they've proven it to me, we'll keep coasting. If it's abysmal, then we're making changes. Buffalo here offering me a first and a third. So basically I'm swapping thirds, and I get a first for Lee Sweeney. I don't know if Buffalo's a good team or not. I'm going to pass on that for the moment. Mats Lindback just got injured for a week, so I switched him out with Kyle Wood as well. 6-3 loss, 4-1 loss, 6-1 win, 3-1 loss, 4-2 win. So in those 5 games, we go 2 and 3, with pretty shameful losses being 6-3, 4-1, and 3-1. We're 18-15-1. This does not make any sense. We should be firing on all cylinders, like always, with all these same players in great form. I don't know if Mikko Rantan was the X factor or what. Damien Anthony, he has 12 points in 24 games. That's it. This guy should be flying out here. The third line should be flying as well with a +5. 3 goals and 3 assists for Zayuzin. That's all he has through 34 games, 6 points. Hughes has 24 points in 34 games. Anderson, okay, he's a monster. Ellis Anderson is doing very well. But again, the goalies, Lee Sweeney, 884 save percentage, Bentley an 888 save percentage, and McClellan an 870 save percentage. None of that makes any sense whatsoever. I'm inclined to just go get a new goalie, and maybe one of those 3 gets to be my backup. I don't know. If I were to trade Lee Sweeney right now, what could I get? Because his value will continue to drop as we get closer to the deadline, I believe, since he's on an expiring deal. So 2/3 and a prospect from the Sabres, a second and a third there. 2 prospects. The Sabres really want him. Jared McCann a 7th. Are you serious? Second. This one from the Sabres is probably the best. 2nd, 3rd, and this guy Gibson. If I threw in a 3rd-round pick, I could probably get a 1st-round pick. So if I go Sweeney and a draft pick, maybe I can get a 1st from Buffalo if I take out the prospects to make it a 1st. But yeah, Buffalo seems to be my best bet. What kind of a team is Buffalo? They have a record of 17-15-2. They're a fringe team. They're definitely a contender. I wouldn't mind getting their 1st-round pick. I could get a 1st and a 3rd, I think, from them. They don't even have a 1st. It'll be a 1st next season. And they'd have to re-sign Sweeney. Do they have a good goalie? They don't. So Sweeney would definitely become their starter long-term. He'd be in the Eastern Conference out of our hair, which would be nice. Wouldn't have to ever face him unless it's the Cup Finals. So a 1st and a 3rd wouldn't be bad from Buffalo. So I'm giving them my 3rd this year for their 3rd this year. So it's just I'm getting a better 3rd, and I'm getting a 1st-round pick for Lee Sweeney. I think I'm ready to do this. Lee Sweeney, our 4th-round pick in 2023, 2-time Stanley Cup champion. Yeah, it made sense to keep you, but you just haven't shown me enough, Lee. You want too much money to re-sign. I have 2 young goalies. Are you going to the Buffalo Sabres? Yes, you are. Lee Sweeney, thank you for your service here in Honolulu. We're going to be rolling with Bentley and McClellan from here on out. So people have to be awake. Let's fix this up and see what we can do in these next few games. But man, the bottom six, I am not sold on this bottom six. Zayuzin, if anyone's moving, it's him to get a better third line right wing. And Damien Anthony is very close to being moved as well. You know what? I'm putting Anthony and Zayuzin, both of them, on the trade block. And we'll see what starts to happen as we go over the next weeks. So we'll keep on simulating. We actually play Buffalo in just a couple of weeks. We have 3 games against the Canucks over here. We just played them again last week, so 4 games in 1 month pretty much against the Canucks. So we'll go up to this game against Buffalo, get another little taste of how we're looking like into January. We'll take a pause to look at the stats around the league. Oh, great! A sprained ankle for Bentley on his first game as his first debut as trying to be our starter. So I guess Beck will get called up then. And McClellan will be our starter for the next few games. Great. All right. Big 9-3 win against the Minnesota Wild at least. Zetterberg Rabbit for what? What kind of a deal is that? Why would I do that trade in New Jersey? Mats Lindback is back. We're going to wait a little bit more. It was until Christmas Eve, so we'll bring him back on the 27th. 5-2 loss and 5-0 win. Who got that 5-0 shutout? Was it the NHL debut of Steven Beck, I mean? Yes, it was. Steven Beck. In his NHL debut, 78 overall, he's listed as a backup goalie. Maybe Steven Beck gets a little bit of a chance here. McClellan hasn't been looking good. Let's put Bentley in here, and let's have Beck back him up. Beck can start next game. If I go to roster moves, could I send down Matthew McClellan, or would that not work with waivers? McClellan, he's not waiver eligible. Let's put McClellan down with no morale. It doesn't matter. There's no morale. So let's put McClellan down in the minors. Let's make him start for the next week or whatever with Almquist backing him up. And let's see what Steven Beck can do up in the NHL. That's going to be a little interesting experiment. So against Vegas, we win 6-3. I can put Mats Lindback back in the lineup. And I'll give Beck the start as well. 2 games, 2 wins, 944 save percentage. My goodness. Steven Beck. Maybe it's Steven Beck. Let's see how he does in this game against Vancouver. Then it's going to be a back-to-back where he'll get another opportunity. Oh my goodness, 3-0 win? Who is this guy? Pick him up in your fantasy leagues, boys. Steven Beck called up. 2 shutouts and 3 wins. A second-round pick in 2027. Steven Beck. Oh my goodness, 3 wins, 2 shutouts. Let's keep the good times rolling. I don't know if he'll play in this game or the other one in this back-to-back, but he'll get one of them for sure. Bentley will play the other one. Whatever. Head coach replace him and Santiago Corson. Not going to do that deal with Ottawa. Blues, we beat them 5-2, and the Canucks, we beat them 2-1. So I don't know who is in nets for which, but let's get a little bit of an update of the stats here. Beck, 4 games, 4 wins. Did he play both those games? It could be. I don't know. Either way, man. Steven Beck. Oh my goodness. So let's go to this game against Buffalo. Like we said, we're going to put Steven Beck between the pipes. Buffalo's 23-15-2. They're definitely like gods now with Sweeney between the pipes. He's going to win the Vezina with them. He's going to somehow have a fantastic, mind-blowing season. Even though he had a crazy team with the best defense in the league in front of him, he'll go to Buffalo and suddenly simulate like Dominik Hasek. So let's see how we do at home against the Buffalo Sabres. Lee Sweeney, a little video tribute before the game. Thank you for the 2 cups. First period 2-1. Tarasov is in nets though for Buffalo, not Sweeney. Second period 3-1. My goodness. Now we're down 3-1. Anthony okay against Caden Primo. What? Don't tell me. Oh, don't tell me. Caden Primo and Tarasov are their goalies. Don't tell me they sent Sweeney down to the minors. Pittan ties this game up at 3. Don't tell me I sent you a better... You have 270 overall goalies. I send you an 84, and you don't even play him. Don't tell me. He better be injured or something. Looks like we're going to overtime. 3-3 game against Buffalo. Shots are pretty even. Who is going to take the W? We're off to a shootout, and the Sabres get 2, and they win it. The first loss for Steven Beck. That is a SOL. So now we can go and check out the stats. But first, I need to go see the Buffalo Sabres. Is Lee Sweeney in the NHL? I really hope so. That would be unbelievably shameful. Lee Sweeney is in the AHL. What in the world? In 5 games, he's 2-3-0 with the Rochester Americans, 842 save percentage, 4.9 goals against. I don't know if that's good that I got rid of him or just absolutely disgusting that they're playing him in the minors like that. His numbers weren't that bad with me, by the way, but they were starting to turn around. But like I said, there was more for the contract that I traded him. But wow, that is just shocking. Speaking of goalies in the minors, how is, what's his name, McClellan? What's he doing down there in the minors? He is 2-1-0 with 1 shutout, 933 save percentage, 1.71 goals against, so that's good at least. But now finally taking a pause to check out the points 42 games into the season, just past the halfway point. Duke Silver, 56 points, 32 goals through 42 games. The captain leading the way at the age of 30. What a monster he is. Very, very impressive season thus far. Ellis Anderson, 45 points in 37 games. Skylar Pelech, 41 in 42. Tolvanen, 40 at the age of 31. Pittis, 38. Wong, 38. Great 9 goals, 29 assists. Quinn Hughes, 31 with a plus 21. Perfetti, 24. Anthony, 21 in 32. And I'd like to see more from him. Thomas Steen, very shocking. 6 goals in 42 games with Cole Perfetti as his center with 4-star shooting and a -6 with 4.5-star defense. That is shocking. Lindback 15, Binnington 12, Kozevnikov 9 with -2. Zayuzin has 8 points in 42 games. That is disgusting. Gambrell 8 points in 42 games. The third D pair is a -5 and a -7. Maybe it's time to trade Junior. I don't know. He has 1 year left at 2.9. For an extension, he wanted something like $5 million. I don't know. Maybe I trade Junior. There's a lot of moves that could happen this season. Kopp, Wood, okay, and goalies like we said, Bentley and Beck. He's 4-0-1 with 2 shutouts. We're just gonna keep riding the Steven Beck train, that's for sure. But also looking around the entire NHL, it is Nikita Lisson with 67 points in 42 games, 46 goals. The first time in this entire franchise mode that the leading goal scorer is not a created player. Beats, Bruno, Silver are all here, Cherry, but no, it is Nikita Lisson leading the way. What an insane point total from him thus far. Shot accuracy 99 and 99. Clayton Keller, Duke Silver, Johnny Beats, Barkov, Draisaitl. A classic season for everybody else. Robertson, who I want to pick up for the third line, somehow has all those points. He's playing first line minutes. Yes. And for goalies in the NHL, let's see the goalies. Ricardo McDonough. Best numbers seem to be with maybe Mackenzie Blackwood or this guy Walters, Garrett Walters. No, best numbers definitely go with Philip Gustafson, I think. 18, 9, and 1. These are just crazy, crazy things to see, though. I don't know how these goalies are putting up these numbers at these overalls. 80, 82, 77. Hunter Jones is the starter in Winnipeg, somehow 16, 12, and 3 at a 77 overall. So that's what I'm talking about. Binnington still in the NHL, 78 overall. That's what doesn't make sense. But what I'm really looking at is getting some sort of third-line winger. Jason Robertson might be that guy, but I'm just going to quickly explore the trade blocks. So nobody on the block that's interesting, but I was looking in the player search at third liners, kind of 84 overall range kind of guys, and Reed Pittan spoke to me here. Medium top 6 forward, listed as a second line forward. He's 84 overall, 21 goals, 12 assists, gives him a grand total of 33 points in 40 games. He's a sniper, crazy shot accuracy, 98, 97, 90 offensive awareness, 90 discipline, all that good stuff. 88 defensive awareness, not the best skater, not the best physical, but he says he would fit the third line, and he's a sniper, which would be good to get instead of Zayuzin, who doesn't seem to be able to score. So if I can get Pittan, he's on a pretty decent, very digestible contract as well. So if I could trade them Zayuzin, who is the same, 1 year younger, 5 overall less, and on an expiring deal, he's going to want money. So if I can trade them Zayuzin and some sort of, maybe even I overpay, and I can get them to keep some salary, that would be amazing. So I'm going to see what I could try and pull off here, who they're interested by. I could give them Goddard, low elite defenseman, 21 years old, 66 overall. He's just a healthy scratch in San Diego. I could give him to them. I could also throw in some sort of pick, since I have a decent amount this year, 1 first, 3 seconds, 3 thirds. I could throw in a Philadelphia third, since they're possibly the best team, I think. take back a random, see if I can get them to keep some salary. It would be nice if they could keep maybe like 1.5. That would be pretty cool. That would mean that he's making like 3.225. So that's a pretty solid deal. 3.225 for my fourth liner for the next 4 years. If I could even make them keep, you know what? Let me try 50%. Why not? Right off the bat. See what they say to this. Trade rejected. They'd accept it, but they don't want to retain that salary. I'm willing to overpay even more to get that salary to work, because for 4 years, that's a solid salary to be giving that guy. If I throw in a 4th round pick, still trade rejected. Let's try upping the ante then. I have 3 second-round picks. Let's throw in one of those. I'll give you my second-round pick with Zayuzin and Goddard for Pittan. They still don't want that. A 2nd and 2/3 now. We're definitely paying big time. Yeah, that was a big price to pay, but that will help us down the road. A 2nd and 2/3. We had a lot of picks. Zayuzin off to the Columbus Blue Jackets. Welcome Reed Pittan. Let's slap him in the lineup. We'll simulate a little bit. If he does well, that's fantastic. If things still need to change, I'm okay with trading Steen, with trading Kozevnikov. We'll do what we have to do to make this bottom 6 work for us. So Pittan will also play second unit of power play, replacing Steen, since Steen has done absolutely nothing there. He has 6 goals, 9 assists all season, and 2 power play points. On the third line, it gives it a +5, so hopefully Pittan with Perfetti as his playmaker, Steen can pick it up defensively. Hopefully this third line begins to gel together. So Kozevnikov will stay 4th line. To be honest, I think I'm kind of down to trade Kozevnikov. 2 years left at 1.5. It's not really working out that much, but we're going to roll like this, see how it goes. Steven Beck will start our next game. Bentley backing him up. Scratches are still looking good. Howerluck, I got him as whatever, a deal as a contract spot. He can stay up here as a healthy scratch. And let's continue simulating and see if Pittan can make a difference for us. I love that contract though, making like 2.8 for the next 4 years, because I can see him staying on this team much more than I can see Steen staying on this team. So, very fitting. Our next match is against our rivals, the San Jose Sharks. So this will be a good test for Beck. I know going into the game, always there's like a higher odds of you losing if you go into the game like this. But whatever, let's see what happens. First period, 2-0 Huskies, Anderson and Silver. Second period, 2-1, McDavid scores on the power play. 1 goal on 25 shots thus far for the Sharks, so a good performance from Saul. King Saul doing pretty well. 2-1. No, sorry, what am I saying? It's Saul Bentley and Steven Beck. The both of them have the SB initials. It kills me. Lakachev scores, but then Ezra Pittis comes right back 50 seconds later or so, and we restore that lead. 3-2 with just a few minutes left. Binnington makes it a 2-goal lead. That'll be enough to end it. A 4-2, make that 5-2 as Gambrell adds the empty netter. 5-2 win for the Huskies. Goal and assist for Pittis, goal and assist for Silver, goal and assist for Anderson, and Steven Beck makes, let's see, he makes 22 saves on 23 shots. Bentley was in nets for 10 shots and let in a goal. Okay, I don't know why goalies always change. They never really get injured. It's always these small things. It's like, oh, they had to leave for 10 minutes, but then you come out of the game and no one got injured, so never really makes that much sense. Anyways, let's simulate another little bit of a chunk here, as we'll see how Pittan and the goalie situation goes with Bentley and Beck. And hopefully it doesn't rotate them too much. I'll probably have to stop a bunch of games to make sure Beck is starting his fair share. So I'm going to go, let's see, we'll go Bentley, Beck, Bentley, Beck, Bentley, Beck, Bentley, up until the All-Star break, and then we will reevaluate. Also, another note about trade value. Look at Kozevnikov. When I drafted him, and in the last few years, he had like 3/4 of a full trade bar. Now that he's played in the NHL a little bit, he's 24 years old, 82 overall, and his trade value is so minuscule. It used to be like, what's a comparable? It used to be like higher than Oscar Pettersson even. Now, this guy, I should probably trade this guy. 22 years old, 65 overall. I don't think he's going to grow much. He has 4 points in 33 games in San Diego, and he has great trade value. So this trade deadline, I should trade these guys for, like, at the very least, trade them for picks or something. Even on defense here, look at these prospects. Sutter, Sawchuk, Niinema, who's 21 years old, 63 overall. So trade value is very delicate because if you wait too long, it disappears. Kozevnikov, I said, do I trade him or play him? Okay, I'm going to keep him and play him, and I paid the price. Now he's worth almost nothing. Niinema, do I pay the price? Do I roll the dice and gamble putting him in the NHL in 3 years? He'll have no value. I don't know. So I think when the trade deadline rolls around, a guy like Niinema or definitely a guy like Pettersson is someone who I could definitely move, whether they're part of a bigger deal or not, just trying to get some pieces and picks back. Alright, so after that experiment, Bentley's games, the 84 overall Bentley, he got the 5-2 win, the 11-0 win, the 6-5 win, and the 10-2 win. Then Steven Beck got a 3-1 loss, a 5-0 win, and a 6-3 loss. So the numbers are starting to even out a little bit more. Bentley's starting to getting a little bit better. Beck is starting to come a little bit more down to earth. But I still think that this may just be the tandem to roll with, because McLellan was not putting up numbers like Steven Beck is. 7-2-1, 3 shutouts, 932, even with that the game where he let in 6 goals. Bentley, meanwhile, his save percentage isn't amazing, but his goals against average only 2.82. So then looking at Matthew McLellan here, he's 3-3-1, 901 save percentage, 2.71. It's not crazy good numbers for San Diego, to be honest. Magnus Almqvist is going to be another guy who's going to be pushing for the NHL starting next season probably. He's already a 74. So I don't know, maybe Matthew McLellan is a guy to trade and we just roll with Bentley and Beck. This is another tough predicament because he has trade value, Oscar Pettersson has trade value. It's going to be something that we really have to consider come the trade deadline. But with everything looking good, I think that we are going to continue to roll at a higher pace now that we have this as our tandem for a little bit. Let's go up to this game against Carolina. At this point, I will update the scouting. We're 30-18-2, so we're looking pretty nice. We're definitely turning it around. Not as good of a season as the last few years. I don't think it's going to be a President's Trophy campaign necessarily, but we are definitely turning it around in the win category. 4-1 win against the Penguins. No, I'm not going to do that. Back-to-back here in the Eastern Conference. We have a 6-3 win and a 3-0 win. So the goalies are really performing well. So take a pause here to update the scouting. And I'm also going to browse the trade blocks, all that stuff, because it is getting close to the deadline. And at the 53-game mark in the season now, let's go see the Carolina Hurricanes. It's a good matchup. They're 31-16-6. It'll be a good little test for us. We'll get to see the boys. And then I think we'll simulate about until a week before the trade deadline. We'll pause to take a look at all of the stats and then make some decisions. So first period, 2-0 Hurricanes. Kucherov and Leschyshyn, former Husky Jake Leschyshyn. Second period, 2-2. Okay, Ezra Pittas and Eli Tolvanen tie this game up. Shots are 23-21 in our favor. Game tied at 2 here in the third period. We're starting to pull away in the wins category. The Hurricanes have a very similar record to us. So we want to, there we go, we want to show them who the dominant boys are. Skylar Pelech, and then a minute and a half later, Duke Silver, the captain. We are up by 2 with just a few minutes left now. Kalen Addison comes back, 1 goal away with a minute left. Oh my goodness, and some random ties it up at 4. Shots 34-30 in our favor. Overtime here in regulation, here after regulation I mean. Nothing comes from it. Shootout, and the Hurricanes take it. Kucherov with the winner. That's a brutal loss. We almost had the win, but we get the SOL. We have all 3 stars of the game, but we don't care about that. We want the wins. So that makes our record 33-18-3 now. Like I said, we're going to go closer to the trade deadline. Let's go up to, let's go see this game against the Devils. So a shootout loss, a 3-1 win, 7-3 win, 6-1 win on a good little roll here. Taking on the Devils, a similar record to ours. They have a very good team, as we always know. Sebastian Aho, Tony Klingenberg. Let's see what we can do up against New Jersey. First period 0-0. Second period 1-0 Huskies. Duke Silver on Ilya Shesterkin. We are up by 1, obviously, heading into the third period. Devils power play. Hopefully our penalty kill's gotten a bit better. We killed it off, but then Tony Klingenberg scores on Beck twice, 10 seconds later. And then Chartier. Oh my goodness. 3 goals in 2 minutes on Steven Beck. And from a 1-0 lead to down 3-1, as we'll lose this game 4-1 the final. Wow, that was just a total collapse in the third period. Great. A great opportunity for everyone to showcase themselves before I start making decisions regarding their future on this team as the deadline approaches. 82 points in 59 games for Duke Silver, by the way. He is flying. But we got to see who are the underperformers. Ellis Anderson, Skylar Pelech, Eli Tolvanen, and yeah, that's it for more than point a game. Trevor Wong, Ezra Pittis around that area, 56 and 55 in 59. Reed Pittan, let's see this guy. Pittis and Pittan. Through 17 games, he has 13 points and 9 goals. You can't ask for much better than that. Great performance thus far with the Huskies. Beautiful. So 46 and 57 total for him, 30 goals on the year. Quinn Hughes, 46 and a plus 34. Cole Perfetti, 35 points. I'm disappointed that he's dropped to an 83. He used to be an 86. So it's a bit weird. Damien Anthony now, 33 points in 49 games. Last year he had 33 and 77. He's on pace for a career high in goals and probably a career high in points as well. But it won't be by much. Like, I'd be surprised if he hit 50 points. I'm pretty disappointed in Damien Anthony. 16 and a half plus minutes per night, second line minutes, second unit power play. He's getting the opportunity. He's playing with good players. I don't really get it. Lindenbach 22 with a plus 24. Steen has been disappointing. 21 points and 8 goals. That's it. -3 as a third line left wing. Meanwhile, Binnington on the fourth line, getting how much? 5 minutes less ice time per night, has 18 points and is a plus 5. Kozevnikov 12 points, disappointing as well. Menino's a plus 29. Junior and Alberts have turned around the plus minus a little bit. Kopp and Wood didn't play too much. Goalie Sitch now. Bentley 16, 6 and 2 with 3 shutouts, 905 save percentage, 2.53 goals against. Steven Beck though, the 78 overall, 7, 3 and 1, 3 shutouts, 927 save percentage, 2.02 goals against average. McClellan is 7, 7 and 1, 2 shutouts, 900 save percentage, 2.76 goals against in San Diego. Yeah, that's not super impressive at all. So let's take a look at the entire NHL now. If there's anybody to move, I think it's Kozevnikov, maybe Steen, maybe McClellan. Anyways, Duke Silver leads the NHL in points, by the way. Nikita Lison's right behind, but Duke Silver is probably second in NHL goals. No, third in NHL goals, right behind Johnny Beats and Nikita Lison, but leading the NHL in points with 82. Tony Klingenberg, Johnny Beats, Mikey Bruno, Leon Draisaitl, all the boys up here. Jesper Bratt, how does he keep doing it? 89 overall he's at? What? That's crazy. Jinkyo Chong, big year for him as well. 72 points in 61 games for a defenseman. He's right behind Ellis Anderson, who in 7 less games has 3 more points than Jinkyo. Boy, oh boy, Derek Mongo there on the Oilers. Let's look at the goalie situations here in the NHL. Ricardo McDonough still leading the way. Garrett Walters, Stuart Skinner at an 83. Shesterkin, Bo Porter, an 83. Ilya Samsonov on the Leafs is doing pretty well. 25, 13, and 6. Good to see that. He's putting up Vezina kind of numbers. 916 save percentage, 2.57 goals against. The leader in the NHL for Vezina probably right now, if we look at minimum 20 games, the leader could be Terrence... No, 23. Let's look at minimum 30 games. Tucker Tynan, really. 81 overall, has a 918 save percentage. But the best save percentage and goals against average combo, it's between Gustafsson and Samsonov right now, most likely. Even Mackenzie Blackwood looking good. Yeah, look at that. Connor Hellebuck, 80 overall, still a monster, just because he has the 92 poise. So that's the situation in the NHL as of right now. I'm inclined to want to trade my Pettersson, McClellan, Kozevnikov. I want to move these pieces and get some big boys back. Even maybe Steen, get a better third liner for a playoff push. What could I get? Let's say my biggest trade value piece is Pettersson. What could I get in an open block trade if I ask around here? Colin White, a third round pick, and Zach Senyshyn, okay. Elias Anderson, a third, and Bolt. Bjorkstrand, no. Rasmus Sandin, no. McGillney and 3 second round picks. That's not bad. Actually, it's not really good, but it's probably the best of all the deals. If I add too much value, no one's going to want to do it. Like if I say, what are you going to give me for Pettersson and Steen? It's probably going to say no trades. Oh, really? Eskalainen and Ryan Hartman, or Bowen Byram, Henriksen, and a third. Who's this guy Eskalainen? Eskalainen, 1 year left, 7.2, 88 overall, left wing, two-way forward. Really? That's interesting. What has he done this season? Tuomas Eskalainen, 44 points in 58 games. He is from Finland, 27 years old, great puck skills, good shooting. Yeah, maybe I could change him from a two-way forward into a playmaker or something with that 91 passing. Can I get a first and a second? This could go through. Eskalainen, Heda, a first and a second for Pettersson, Steen, and McClellan. This would not be a bad deal. Now, I'm not going to make this deal yet. I need to do my due diligence. I'm going to go check out the trade blocks. I'm going to go do the player search. And if this is the best deal, I'll come back to it. But if there's a better deal, then you will see that right now. So this is what I'm looking at with the Winnipeg Jets. Jason Robertson, who I wanted all along last off-season. He is a really good sniper. He's on a career-high pace right now, 63 points in 58 games. I know he's playing first line and everything, but as a third liner, 84 overall, he would be a great addition with Pittan and be on the wing of Cole Perfetti. He can get him going a little bit. Good poise, good offensive awareness, good skating, good shooting. I'd love to get Jason Robertson on this team. He had 3 years at 3.6 if I get half the salary retained. I give them back Steen because they need to be at the salary cap floor. Pettersson has a ton of value. The first round pick next year because this year they're still a decent team at 28, 25, and 5. Pettersson, he has 8 points in 49 games, 22 years old, 66 overall. I do not see a reality where he can grow, so I would love to offload him. Winnipeg, I doubt they give me a first round pick. Yeah, it's too far off. This is a good deal, boys. Give me a first round pick from a team that could be a rebuilder next year. Their status is rebuilder. They could be really pits next season. This could really help us down the road. I'll give you a third round pick next year as well. Still trade rejected. I'll offer you one more second round pick, but if that doesn't work, then I'll have to pass on the first, and I'll have to make it a second from Winnipeg. Trade accepted. There we go. A first round pick and Jason Robertson. Steen, you didn't work out. Robertson, welcome to Honolulu. Let's slot him on that third line, but I'm not done yet. So let's get back to the trade screen, and then I'll show you the lineup. So I'm trying to find a trade for some of the better top young defensemen in the NHL. Now look at Will O'Reilly on the Dallas Stars. He was a second overall pick in 2029. A bit of a bust for a second round pick. I would not have taken this guy second overall, but he has 5-star puck skills, 4-star defense. He's a very serviceable defenseman. Just wouldn't have taken him second overall, high top 4D. Fits on deep pairing 3, power play, penalty kill. He has 3 years left. Now that is a great contract for an 83 overall, 20-year-old. He could play bottom pair. If it doesn't work out, I don't care. I would really like to have him on the third pair D instead of Junior. Now look at Niinema. Niinema, 64 overall, 1 year older, and like 20 overall less than O'Reilly. Almost the same trade value, just because he's medium elite. So if I traded Mika Niinema to the Dallas Stars for Will O'Reilly, along with Junior, I think I could pull off that trade. So I want to see if I can do it here. So here's Mika Niinema, and I'll throw in Junior, who's on an expiring deal. I could qualify him and keep him, see what happens. If someone offer sheets him, he wants upwards of $5 million. I don't think that makes much sense. If I could just trade Niinema and Junior straight up for Will O'Reilly, who would be a new, like a powerhouse third pair D, I think that would be a crazy deal for us. I don't think it would go through straight up, but just in case it does, I'll throw in a couple of draft picks here. Trade rejected, too far off. Just with the 5th round pick, they still say too far off. So let's try straight up with Dallas, and it's still too far off. Understandable. Maybe I throw in McClellan. I still need to dump him, and they want a goalie. So Dallas, they have no goalie. They have Lindbaum, Olaf Lindbaum as their starting goalie, a second round pick in 2018. So they would really love to get a starting goalie. So I'm doing them a favor by giving him to them. Philip Straka, power forward. No, I'm not going to be able to get a big boy like that. But I already have their second, so could I get their first and third and fourth next year? I'm really cleaning out Dallas here. Will O'Reilly, first, third, and a fourth for Niinema, Junior, and McClellan. What do you say, Dallas? Still a bit low for us. I think this would go through, though. A first and a third. Thank you very much, Dallas. Matthew McClellan, good luck with the Stars. Junior, you've been here a long time, Junior. Thank you for all your hard work. We'll revisit that in a second. Go have fun with Mikko Rantanen, and we'll recap in just a moment. Okay, so Damien Anthony, if he drops to the third line, it gives the third line a +3. I'd prefer to have him on the second second line, but do I want to go +1/+1, or do I want to go +1/+3? I think giving Damien Anthony that 89 overall push with Pittan and Perfetti may be more beneficial than making him an 87 with Wong and Pittis. I don't know. Robertson, he's a sniper himself. He really fits the second line according to the scheme here. I'm going to try it out like this just to start it out. But Robertson, welcome to the team. Pittan's on the squad down with Anthony. Damien Anthony, man, I need to figure out his contract situation as well. On defense, Will O'Reilly will play third pair with Landon Alberts. 24 years old, 80 overall is Alberts. Will O'Reilly, 20 years old, 83. I'd prefer to play him on the second or first pair because he really has a better fit on those. But for right now, while the players are what they are, Will O'Reilly is going to play third pair D. I don't care if he gets buried and doesn't develop. I didn't waste a second round pick on him. I traded Scraps, a guy who wasn't going to develop in Niinema, and Junior, who had to move anyways, and McClellan just got me the draft picks. So I'm okay with Will O'Reilly not developing super well and just being a monstrous third pair guy. He's not going to get much ice time either because the special teams are already full. Even though he fits the power play and the penalty kill, which is nice, there's just no room for him right now. Even for Jordan Robertson, there's no room on the power play, which is tough. I'm tempted to put Robertson here instead of Anthony, but I need to keep Anthony getting some ice time as well. Penalty kill 2, O'Reilly does fit, but I'm not going to take someone like the only defenseman that I would move is either Mats Lindback or Ellis Anderson. Ellis Anderson, 94, 93 blocking, stick checking. Lindback, 93, 91. So yeah, they're not moving, even though Will O'Reilly is still a solid defender at 89, 88 for shot blocking and stick checking. So not a lot of ice time for Will O'Reilly. The starting goalies are set. The scratch depth is there. The top 6, the top 9 has been altered. We've made some big deadline moves. There's been some goalie drama, and we are ready to continue simulating on to the end of the season. So Matthew McClellan, hold on, let me fix up San Diego as well. We'll just best lines it in San Diego for now. So over in Dallas, they now have Mikko Rantan. I was very tempted to get Mikko Rantanen back, but 3 years left at 8.85. I forgot that now, he's 34 years old now. He's down to a 90. His potential, if he drops to top 6, and I have him for 2 more years at $8 million and just as a mid 80 overall, it doesn't really make much sense. So Mikko Rantanen, even though he has 44 points in 58 games, it doesn't really work for me to get him back. So the Peyton Krebs, Mikko Rantanen, Junior, McClellan, all former Huskies can all band together on the Dallas Stars and hopefully have a good campaign. At least McClellan's playing in the NHL for Dallas, unlike Buffalo burying Sweeney in the minors. So we went from having three goalies to just down to 1 of those 84s. It was Saul Bentley that got the edge in the end, and Steven Beck went from minor league starter to NHL backup because of his performance. So boys, you can't look at the overall. You have to look at the performance. If they perform well, they perform well. Going to the contracts now, like I just said about Damien Anthony. Now, the problem with Damien Anthony is that he does not want the extension. He wants upwards of $7 million to extend. So what I'm going to do is just qualify him in the offseason. I'm going to try to get him for 3 years at like 6.5, something like that. I know it's more expensive than I would have wanted him to be. Honestly, down the road, I see myself probably trading Damien Anthony. He is just not growing well, and he's not performing well either. But we'll see by next season. For now, the team is set, and I'm excited to see how we do. Our first opportunity will be up against the 33-24-3 Colorado Avalanche with Jinkyo Chong, the pride of South Korea. So let's do it, boys. We're 36-19-4. Let's see what we do with this new lineup. Robertson, Pittan, pretty new. O'Reilly. The goalies are set in stone. Let's go. First period, 2-1. Anderson and Gambrell on Sandro Tommy. Jinkyo Chong gets one past Bentley. Second period, 3-1 as Ellis Anderson gives us the 2-goal lead. Power play here in the third period. I know this is a bit of a long episode. Quite the season. I don't know how much I'm going to cut out of trades that just didn't work out, but hope you're enjoying the ride. Halfway through the third period, Burakovsky brings the Avalanche within 1, but then Formenton ties it up at 3, and then Jordan Robertson, in his Honolulu Husky debut, gives us the 4-3 lead. Would that be enough for a GWG? It may just be. Skylar Pelech adds the power play, and that is the game-winning goal from Jordan Robertson as we win 5-3 over the Colorado Avalanche. 2 goals for Anderson, goal and assist for Pelech, and the game-winning goal for one of the newest Huskies in Jordan Robertson. So that is all taken care of. Let's begin simulating to the end of the season. We are winding down here in the final month. Let's go see Dallas. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's go see the Dallas Stars in a couple of weeks. Seth Jones going to the Oilers with a 6th-round pick for a prospect and a 4th. He is in the last year of his deal. A lot of people that I could have picked up, guys like Seth Jones, Morgan Riley, who was an 80 overall on the last year of his deal. I could have gotten that guy, the left-wing two-way forward from the Penguins, which wouldn't have been a bad deal, but it just wasn't really working out. And I thought this was the best move. Kozevnikov is still a guy that I have to think about. I could move a 3rd, get a 2nd, but that's not really worth it. I think Kozevnikov is a move that will come down the road. But we beat the Lightning 5-1. We beat the Sabres 6-3. We beat the Islanders 7-3. We beat the Jets 4-2. We beat the Predators 6-1. Keep it going. We beat the Leafs 3-2 in overtime. That is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 game winning streak since the trade deadline moves. 43-19-4 is our record up against the 25-34-6 Dallas Stars. I'm sad to see that Mikko Rantan is not having a great campaign with his team. He's doing okay, but as a whole, they're not doing too hot. First period, 1-0 Huskies, Damien Anthony, okay, on the power play. Second period, 2-1, Eli Tolvanen and Sean Monahan, 2-1 Huskies, the 1-goal lead here in the third period. Who was in nets? It's Lindbaum in nets. Okay, so no McClellan tonight against the Huskies, and we have that 1-goal lead halfway through the third. Shots tied at 28. Ellis Anderson puts us up by 2. Power play for the Stars that we kill off. The penalty kill is getting more effective for us, which is beautiful, and we will take that game 3-1. 8-game winning streak. Bentley makes 32 saves. Damien Anthony, Eli Tolvanen get the goals. They get the second and third stars with their goals. Let's keep the good times going. Let's go see Derek Mongo, Jack Eichel, and the Edmonton Oilers. After we play them coming up now, we'll see them again later. 3-2 win against Vegas. 3-1 win against Edmonton. 4-1 win against Colorado. 4-1 win against Tampa Bay. Oh my goodness. 2-1 loss. That's a tough one. That's a tough 2-1 loss against Minnesota. We're 48-20-4. Then a 5-3 loss against the Coyotes. So wait, how many in a row? That's 9, 10, 11, 12. We had a 12-game winning streak going for ourselves. Going up against the Edmonton Oilers now. 43-29-4 is their record. We're 2 wins away from 50. Let's do it. Early goal. Beautiful. First period. Okay, 3-2. So Ellis Anderson, Skylar Pelech, and Reed Pittan for us. Riley Sharp and Tuola for the Oilers against Bentley. 3-2 Huskies. Second period, oh my goodness, it's Jordan Robertson, Duke Silver, and Skylar Pelech. 6 goals through 2 periods. Ekman Larson, a shorthanded goal, though that's not good for the Oilers. We're up by 3 here in the third period. It's starting to get put away. Another one would really put it away, though, for the Huskies. Let's go, boys. Who has one more in them? Power play Oilers. Jack Eichel scores on the power play. The lead is cut to 2. Power play for the Huskies, and Damien Anthony restores the 3-goal lead. And Eli Tolvanen, let's call it. That's the game, boys. 8-4 as Eli Tolvanen gets our 8th. 3-3-2 our goals through the periods. 2-2 for Pelech. 1 goal, 3 assists for Pittan. And yes, 4 assists from Cole Perfetti. That third line giving him a bit of a jump. He finally has someone to pass to who can score and make it all worth it down in the bottom 6. So the season's coming to a close, boys. And I think that we are comfortable to just sim to the last game of the season. 2-1 overtime wins, 6-0 loss, 7-6 shootout loss. Those are tough. But then a 3-2 win, 6-3 loss. 5-4 overtime win. Bit shaky here in the final week of games. 2-1 win there. Beautiful. We have clinched the Western Conference. Have we won the President's Trophy? This win would definitely help us out. Let's go, boys. For win number 54 and 6 straight President's Trophies. Let's really try and get it done. Gambrell. First period, 2-2. Gambrell and Tolvanen, Wallstrom and Panamarev for the Canucks. Second period, 3-2 Canucks. They have 3 goals on 15 shots against Beck as Wallstrom scores his 2nd of the night. We're down by 1 here in the third, boys. Come on, we have only 2 goals on 32 shots. Who's in nets here? Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen? Yeah, it is. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. Let's go, boys. Come on, Ezra Pittis. I've not seen much from Ezra Pittis in these simulations. Lost Skylar Pelech. But 2 goals on 41 shots. Come on. Oh, my goodness. 2 goals on 45 shots. They had 3 goals on 20 shots. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. Tough way to end off the year, boys. But we still had a great record of 53, 24, and 5. We just don't know, was it enough for the President's Trophy? It was enough. Let's go. 6 straight President's Trophies in Honolulu. 111 points was enough to get it done this year. Pretty even year for teams across the NHL. 8th place team with 99 points. That's crazy. It was very evenly spread. That means a lot of good teams didn't make the playoffs. Let's look down here. Yeah, like look at Minnesota, 92 points and 44 wins, not enough for the playoffs. Meanwhile, Bruins get in a weaker Eastern Conference. But even down here, like look, 41 wins from the Lightning, not enough to make the playoffs there, and bad enough to be 21st in the NHL. That means the bad teams were really bad. Yeah, Vegas, 21, 51, and 10. Florida, Pittsburgh, Dallas. Good thing we have a lot of Dallas picks, but let's see how we did specifically. Here in year number 12, we were the highest scoring team in the NHL. We were the second best defensive team in the NHL. Our power play at 29.3 was once again top caliber, putting us second in the NHL for power play percentage. Penalty kill of 76.3 though put us in the bottom half. Not all the way at the bottom, but definitely at the bottom half. I don't know, maybe I should make some changes to the penalty kill. I have my best defensive awareness, shot blockers, and stick checkers on the penalty kill. If you have any suggestions for me on that front, please let me know. But yeah, we were looking pretty good. What about the worst power play in the league? 12.9%. Yeesh. Let's check out the points now from all the boys. 109 from our captain, Duke Silver. 62 goals and 47 assists. What a year for Duke. That is a career high in goals. He hasn't scored that many in 8 years. 109 points with 62 goals. Wow. Ellis Anderson in 77 games put up 100 points. That is the That is the third time in his career that he scores 100 points or more, all of them done with Honolulu. Skylar Pelech put up 95 points in 82 games. Oh, what am I reading? Hold on, I sorted it wrong. There we go, 95 points in 82 games. Is that a career high for him? That is an NHL second best in the NHL. So a big year for Skylar Pelech. Eli Tolvanen was a point per game at 82. Jordan Robertson. Now let's see what Jordan Robertson did with us. 13 points in 23 games, 6 goals, 7 assists, plus 11. Very, very well done for a total of 76 points. Ezra Pittis, a bit of a slower year, especially for a 93 overall sniper. 30 goals, 73 points. Trevor Wong also took a bit of a back seat this year, going from 99 points to 71, his lowest point total since the 25-26 season. So you can't really blame him, but it was a bit of a slow year for him. It's a bit of a surprise. Reed Pittan, since coming to Honolulu, 15 goals, 15 assists, and 30 points in 40 games. Took 100 shots. Great job, Reed. 60 points, plus 49 from Quinn Hughes. Skylar Pelech was a plus 52. Duke Silver, plus 56. Great plus minuses. Cole Perfetti ended up getting 55 points, so he turned it around. 55-point season is definitely respectable, better than last year. Damien Anthony, 52 points, a career high for him, 26 goals, 26 assists. So he's starting to turn it around. 52 and 72 is not a bad season. Mats Lindback, 30. Bennington, 26. Gambrell, 17. He was getting it done as a fourth-line center. Will O'Reilly, what did he do since coming to our team? Oh, boy. 3 points, -6. What are you supposed to do, man? This guy's 83 overall with 89 blocking, 88 stick checking. How am I supposed to do any better than that? What can I do on the bottom pair? Meanwhile, Menino's a plus 41. That's crazy, man. Goalies, though. Let's see the goalies. Bentley, 29, 9, and 3 in his debut. 3 shutouts, 912 save percentage, 2.44 goals against. And Steven Beck, the 78 overall backup, 11, 5, and 1, 3 shutouts, 911 save percentage, 2.52 goals against average. You love to see that. What did McClellan do over on Dallas? He went 13, 14... No, sorry. Let me just see on Dallas specifically. He went 6-9-0, 1 shutout, 896 save percentage, 3.15 goals against. Did Lee Sweeney ever come up to play with Buffalo? He did not. That is shameful. He ended up going 14, 19, and 5 with 1 shutout in Rochester. It's very similar to the Cameron McKinley situation in the Anaheim franchise mode. A great NHL starter. I traded him to Dallas. He got buried in Texas. He just never got good again. So hopefully that won't happen to Lee Sweeney. In the entire NHL, Duke Silver, yes, wins the Art Ross Trophy with 109 points. The Rocket Richard will go to Johnny Beats with 71. That'll be his first Rocket Richard, I believe. 71 goals for the 5'9" sniper. Very well done. 102 points as well. But Art Ross goes to Duke Silver. Elias Pettersson right behind him at 104. Ellis Anderson with 100 points was 4th best in the NHL. Very, very impressive. Any other players here? Skylar Pellick made it. Derek Mongo. A lot of creative players, of course. Just going to look at all defensemen in the league. It was Anderson, then Jinkyo Chong, 85 and 82. So a great year from him. And going to all NHL goalies, it was Ricardo McDonough with 42 wins. But the Conn Smythe will likely, the Vezina will likely go to, I could see Ilya Samsonov winning it. Bentley didn't play enough games, I don't think. Trying to look at more minimum games. Gustafsson had good numbers, but I think Samsonov would probably take it. In rookie scoring, Christopher Muir scored 43 goals and 66 points. Tuola had 60, and then it goes down from there. But definitely interesting stuff. I wanted to look at some other point totals of some old friends as well, other people we've traded away. Let's check out Mikko Rantanen, the captain of Honolulu. He led Dallas in points, 72 in 82, 34 years old, 90 overall. He got it done for the team. A lot of older players, 36, 32, 33, 35. A lot of older players who would be good in today's world, but in 2031 are getting up there. Going to look at, what's his name, who I traded over to the Blue Jackets. Where is he? Zayuzin. Sergei Zayuzin. He stayed at 79. He scored 12 goals, 9 assists, 21 points in 42 games. So pretty good for Zayuzin. He was on their third line, so good for him. How did his team do? 34 points for him, 83 game season, big logging the miles. 13 points in 24 games with Winnipeg playing on their first line. So not that good for a first line placement, but whatever. Thomas Steen, he gets 34 points. And yeah, great season in Honolulu, boys. Over in San Diego, things are going pretty well. Pilstrom 61 and 65, Lazarev, Boyd, Carson Bruce, he never grew past a 74 despite being a second round pick. He was friends with Skylar Pellick and they played together in juniors, but Carson Bruce just never got out of the minors. Valentenko, I really wanted him to become a good defenseman. He had low top 4 potential. Now he's down to low 7th D. He never grew past 77. So despite giving him a +3 on the top pair D for the last 4 years or whatever, Valentenko just has not grown. Almquist had a good season, going 22, 5 and 2 with 2 shutouts. He'll be pushing for an NHL role in the near future. But with all that over and done with, let's see who we will be facing in the Year 13 postseason, going for our 3rd straight Stanley Cup and our 2nd Cup defense. It will be the Edmonton Oilers. 44, 34, and 4 record. They have a very good team. We've seen them last year. It was last year or the year before. We beat them somewhere on our road to the Cup. Wise listen on their second line. Edmonton Oilers, where are they? They definitely still have Mongo and Eichel on the first line, of course, with Chase Stillman, Jerry McLeod. Yeah, we beat them in the first round last year, I believe, in 5 games, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was it. They have William Karlsson, 38 years old. They have a decent top 6, a very, very deadly first line. Eichel's at 34 years old now, never won his cup. Duda, Heatley, it's pretty much just Duda, who is a threat on defense. Zaboral, 34, all these guys. A lot of these guys are the same as last year. Piorala, the rookie goalie from Edmonton, 85 overall. He's going to be a tough one to get through. 4th round pick, good to see some growth. Scratches, they have Gabe Velarde injured, and that'll help us out a little bit. But yeah, I'm not super worried about Edmonton, but as we always say, we don't want to jinx it because who knows what kind of poise and upside down Dominic Hasek EA voodoo is going to come up and hit us in the face with. So that is it for this one, boys. The 2030-2031 season is in the books. Let me know your thoughts about the penalty kill. And aside from that, I think we're ready to roll into the playoffs like this. If you think the 2nd or 3rd line should make some changes, maybe. But I don't know, Pittis, should he be moved up? He didn't have a great season. I don't know. I'm kind of, and then defense, I'm kind of torn on those decisions as well. O'Reilly didn't have a good plus-minus since he came here. So please let me know all your thoughts on that. It was a fun one here in 2031, the year number 12 simulation. And we will be looking for a third straight Stanley Cup after we have just won our sixth straight President's Trophy. If we get a third cup, I think that definitely solidifies us as a dynasty, no question. And then we'll have to start thinking about winding down the franchise mode. But as of now, it is full steam ahead. So thank you for watching. If you are new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button, putting out about 4 uploads per week. NHL, FIFA, SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. Like I said, with work and school, it's not easy to do 6 or 7 uploads a week, but that is good for you guys because it gives you a chance to watch and comment. So I really do appreciate all the comments, lots of great comments that are just full of advice and tips and just really nice words, as we saw at the beginning of the video. So let me know your thoughts on all this. The 2031 playoffs will be up tomorrow, Wednesday, July 8th. I hope you are all as excited as I am. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one where we will be going for 3 straight cups.